Today we go wild in the aisles with Supermarket Simulator, a game where you can fleece unsuspecting punters, hire cashiers who look like they've had one too many knocks to the head, and pile up enough cardboard boxes outside your store that it would make even the homeless call the city council in horror. Now you might be thinking, for $10 Reggie, this early access game has gotta be another load of old crap cluttering up the Steam store. But hold on to your horses, put the kettle on, grab a cuppa, and let's review one of the better simulators to hit the shelves of late. Supermarket Simulator is a right simple game. When I say simple, I'm talking proper early access here, where the employees of CrowdStrike would be happy with the amount of glitches within. There is plenty of jank and a whole load of features missing that should be coming down the line. And whilst I'll call this out later on, it's important to weigh it against the price of entry, because for $10, it more than justifies your hard-earned cash. Now, some of you lot got your knickers in a twist over our recent Outbreak review, saying that we don't understand what early access is and that we were too harsh. Bollocks to that, I say. We love early access games, but we always judge them by what they're asking and what they're giving you in return. And it's here where Supermarket Simulator really shines, despite its rough edges. So you start out in a right shambles of a small unit with barely enough cash to buy one or two shelves and a bit of grub to flog to punters. Your trusty old pawn machine in that corner over there, well, that's your command centre, your ordering hub. Here you can order furniture for your store, from cashier desks to fridges, ceiling lights, and a whole lot more. And the big piece, of course, is ordering product. You can buy in bulk tens of boxes of eggs, fish, flour, you name it, and clatter the outside of your store like a hoarder's paradise. The gameplay loop and what keeps you grafting is that as you rake in the profits, you start expanding your empire. As you expand, you'll end up buying food licenses, giving you the ability to sell more variety, and in time, you'll be rocking a grand old store that'll rival some shite 7-Eleven. Now, there are three components to the gameplay. First off, it's the ordering of food and items, then it's stocking the shelves, and finally, serving the customers. When it comes to ordering products though, there's a few gripes to be had. You find the ordering page on your trusty pawn machine is a convoluted mess, like a cat's had a go at the developer's keyboard whilst they were figuring out how to organise it all. Nothing here is in a coherent structure other than the order in which you unlock the products. For instance, I've got a box of cereal at the top of my page and then another box of cereal smack dab in the middle. Same goes for the different types of eggs scattered all over the place. You can filter it out, sure, but it's almost too simple, only letting you filter out items as to what's edible. A simple fix would be to add a bit more granular detail, have it by cleaning product, dairy, meats, frozen and chilled, and then also by categories so that all the cereals, for example, would be together. It would make life a hell of a lot easier. And once you've decided how much product to order, you've got to then figure out where to place it and how much of it goes on each shelf. For example, tea bags, they don't take up much real estate, so one shelf will do. But bog roll, on the other hand, eats up space like nobody's business, so I ended up dedicating 4 shelves to the shit rolls. Here you also set the price, where it tells you what the market trades at and therefore gives you a feeling of how much price gouging you can get away with. Lovely stuff. One of the most crucial aspects is once you've stocked your shelves, the leftover product needs to be stored in your storage room, where you unlock for $800. What a rip-off. Once you set an inventory spot on a storage rack, it'll always be assigned to that spot. This means that when you unlock staff restockers, they'll always head to the same place to take and store goods. Unfortunately though, it's all too easy to mess up your layout by accidentally shoving a product where it doesn't belong, ho-hum, overwriting the original placement. Ears open then that they had the ability to lock shelves to prevent this happening in the future. Likewise, your restockers are a bunch of gormless twats. They get stuck holding boxes requiring a game restart, and they move slower than a tortoise with a dingleberry hanging out its arse. This means they often can't keep up with the pace of your ever-growing customer base, and to top it off, they all look the same. Fingers crossed a few updates can sort out these quirks too. And finally, we come to serving customers. Now, you can take the reins here here scanning items at lightning pace as items get flung into an inexplicably tiny paper bag. You've got two types of payment options, cash or card. You either give the correct change or enter the right amount into the machine. Annoyingly, the game doesn't let you balls this up, so after a while the challenge, it sort of fizzles out and you end up just hiring cashiers to do the dirty work for you. Personally, I like to stand atop of a cashier's desk like an overseer, watching my gormless workforce trundle about, frantically trying to do their best to keep up. The biggest issue with Supermarket Simulator though is its grind. You'll have to graft forever to level up your store, unlock the licenses to offer more products and extend your supermarket. The monotony here is strong, and after quite literally 20 hours of doing this crap, I called it quits, and that in itself left me quite bewildered. I'd spent 20 bloody hours in this rather drab looking and basic simulator, but for some reason I couldn't help myself from trying to unlock more, and for $10 you've got to admit that is bloody good value for money. It proves that even with missing gameplay features, warts and all, you can't beat simplistic gameplay mechanics with a great feedback loop. It's got that just one more level addiction, even if it's wrapped up in a right dodgy package. Graphically, Supermarket Simulator is in a rather rough place overall. It's not the worst I've seen, and perhaps is best described as being just above passable. Most of the products you sell are low fidelity, except for the bread, which seems to have some extra love and attention to it. The colour palette, I accept, is part of its art style, but everything is just bright and block coloured, offering little in the way of blends or shades of a Pantone. In fact, lighting in general is non-existent, with very little going on with its baked assets. The animations are hilariously bad, like ChatGPT is programming on the fly how best to get folks from point A to point B as they awkwardly shift from limb to limb. Clothes clip through people's spines, their eyes stare into the void behind you when you serve them. They have seizures if they try and buy a product that's out of stock. And yet, I salute the artists here, because it's clear this game was designed by some horny teenager. No fat people roam around here, which is incredible when you consider how people buy gallons of cooking oil at once. Instead, females, they are in tight leather crop tops with massive fake melons bursting out as they strut around with their booties in short skirts. Graphics then are 10/10. Sound on the other hand is as dead as a dodo. It feels extinct. You get a few beeps from a cashier's desk and the odd thud of a box landing, but that's about it. My hope then is that this is just a placeholder for now until the game gets more resources behind it. Supermarket Simulator then is one of those zone out games where you can watch the Olympics on one screen and have this playing out on the other. It doesn't require your attention or intellect, it doesn't require skill, it doesn't require all that much focus, truth be told, and that's no bad thing in a world full of games that span hundreds of hours in maps that you'll never complete. Yet its janky charm and gameplay loop keep you going, and if the roadmap is anything to go by, it has some potential here. Even as I edited this video, a new customization update just came out, giving your supermarkets a bit more flair. As we've always said, we don't hate early access games here, far from it. Instead, we just base our core judgment on their value exchange to you lovely people, where you give out your hard-earned money. For the price of a London pint, you'll get more hours out of this than you expected, so in my book, it's a winner. Plus, it has lots of big melons on display. Until next time, my lovelies, Reggie out.